welcome back. For those of you who are new, my name is Natasha, and this channel is really just all about the things that I'm passionate about. Homeschool, family life, gardening, cooking, and so many other things. Well, we have had a busy summer so far, and I haven't had a whole lot of time to videotape and make new videos. And so I kind of missed last week. And even this week, I really kind of felt like I wasn't going to be able to make anything, but I thought I would give you guys a few quick updates, as well as share with you our upcoming homeschool schedule for this next year coming. So if that's something you might be interested in learning more about, follow along. So you might be thinking that June is very early to be planning the schedule for the next homeschool year. But we've had a few plans that have kind of changed that have made me need to plan our homeschool year a lot sooner than I normally would. And I am a planner, so I do like planning way ahead of time anyway, but this was just kind of the right timing now to look at our homeschool, revise the things that we kind of wanted to do differently, and fit it into our weekly schedule. And here is one of the changes. You can see this is a dog crate and this is a puppy toy. We have decided to get ourselves a puppy. Now this all started several months ago, a few months ago actually, when my sister-in-law had puppies. Now, I've always loved animals, particularly dogs and cats. I grew up with both dogs and cats, but I knew that my husband did not really want to have a dog. He does have dog allergies and cat allergies, and so I never bothered to ask for one. But when we went to visit my sister-in-law and saw these puppies for the first time, I was in love, and I just really wanted to have a puppy, and so did my kids. We all just felt like now is the time. I know a lot of people are getting puppies this time right now during the pandemic. They're all feeling locked in at home, maybe lonely, maybe needing something just to perk up, the situation. And so lots of people are getting puppies. But we have all really wanted a puppy, except for my husband. And we just decided that we really wanted to have one. And my amazing husband decided, yes, I do want my family to have a puppy, even though he has allergies. Now, the puppies that my sister-in-law had weren't the ones for us because they do shed a lot, but he did promise that he would start looking out for the right type of breed for us that would be hypoallergenic and one that we could find, because right now there are long wait lists, sometimes up to 3 years that you have to wait for a dog. And the prices of dogs have gone up tremendously because of supply and demand right now during the pandemic. Everybody wants a dog. And so I thought it's going to be difficult, but he promised me he would find one. So this was back in March. Well, he then let me know that he found a breeder who he had some connections with, that was willing to give us a puppy, not put us on the wait list, but just bump us right up to the top and get the next puppy from her next litter. And our puppy was born on May 23rd, and we're going to be picking him up on July 21st. So we are so excited. That's just under 5 weeks away. And so we've been doing lots of planning, buying the right equipment. I've been studying all the training that we need for crate training and potty training and behavior training and all those things. So I've been really busy with a lot of that and just getting excited and planning and thinking of names and thinking of all the things that we need to do and be prepared for a puppy. And so our next update is that in less than 2 weeks from now, we are going to be going on a long road trip to visit my parents, who I haven't seen in a year because of the pandemic, on the east coast of Canada. And that is going to be a 1,600 kilometer or just under 1,000 mile trip with the family. Initially, we were thinking about going later on this summer, but we realized it wouldn't be a good idea to bring a brand new puppy with us on this long road trip. And so we had to bump it ahead of the puppy coming. And so we're going in just under 2 weeks. So we're preparing for that, all the planning and starting to pack and all of these things. But we're super excited, and I'm going to take you along with us on part of our road trip and visiting, and maybe you'll even get to meet my parents. So let's just get down now to the homeschool weekly schedule that I'm going to be using this coming fall. And this is it. I'm going to give you a closer look at it. I just type everything out on my computer. I don't use anything fancy, but it's just a guideline for me to follow, and I'll give you a closer peek at it. I have made a previous video all about how I plan our homeschool year and include how I planned out the weekly calendar. And I have, so I won't go over how I do that today. And so I've already know roughly what we plan to do, because I'm going to somewhat follow what we did last year, but it's going to change just a little bit with some of the curriculum, the added books and things that we're going to be doing that we didn't do last year. And so our weekly schedule is going to be for a grade 2 student and a preschooler. Olivia is 7 and going into grade 2, and Eliana is 3, and we're going to start her on a preschool course, which I showed you in a few videos ago. If you haven't seen that, you can take a look. And so for those two homeschool students, this is what our weekly homeschool schedule will look like. So here it is. I have it here Monday to Friday. We do homeschool 5 days a week, but Friday is just kind of a short day where we're just wrapping up things that we might not have finished throughout the week. So it is a shorter day, but we do homeschool Mondays to Fridays. Last year we started our day at 10 in the morning. I'm not a morning person, and so I decided that by 10 o'clock I would be ready to start homeschool. My kids are up bright and early. They're ready at any time. But I felt 10 o'clock was a good time for me. But over this past year, I've been slowly waking up earlier and earlier, and I find that I could start homeschool a little bit earlier. I wanted a dedicated time to Bible. I was including Bible sort of as part of our read aloud. And so at 9:30 every morning, we are going to be doing our Bible time. And after Bible, we will do a read aloud. Now you might say, well, that's only a half an hour time slot. What we have started over the past several months is I actually read aloud to my kids individually at night before bed. Eliana goes to bed anywhere from an hour to a half an hour before Olivia. And so I read to her before bed. We read several books. And then I read again to Olivia. We read a chapter book together before bed. And so that is really our primary read aloud time. And that way I'm individualizing the reading to my kids too, because there's a big age gap. And so what Eliana might like might not be what Olivia likes. So our history has a read aloud portion and a workbook portion. So on Mondays at 10 a.m., we're going to do the read aloud. And then at 10 o'clock, we're going to read a fiction together. On Wednesdays, we're going to do the history read aloud. On Thursdays and Fridays, we're going to do fiction or nonfiction or biographies, whatever that might be. I've just put it in as fiction. It just means that's not going to be a curriculum. Then at 10:30, we are going to do, while Olivia is doing her penmanship, and her writing with ease, her writing course, I'm going to be doing pre-K with Eliana, her pre-K course that I've showed in the previous video. On Tuesdays at that same time, Olivia is going to be doing math, and at that same time, I'll be doing a little bit of math with Eliana. I don't have a curriculum. We're just doing a lot of games and things that involve counting and number sense. And so the same thing. So Monday and Wednesdays will be the penmanship writing with ease and Eliana's pre-K course, and Tuesdays and Thursdays will be math. And Fridays, Olivia does her reading for 30 minutes, and then I get her to narrate back to me what she has read about. I've decreased that. Last year we were doing it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but she does do a lot of reading on her own outside of school. And so it really kind of took up a chunk of our time that I felt was unnecessary during homeschool time. And so on Friday, she's going to do the actual school required reading and narrate back to me. And Eliana's pre-K work. So we do school from 9:30 in the morning to 11:30. That's 2 hours in the morning, where we then have recess and then lunch. And then we come back to the afternoon on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday, 1 p.m. in the afternoon, we'll be having math. So we do math every day, but we'll alternate between the times of when we do math. But math is 5 days a week. So Eliana in the afternoon, she'll just play. She sits with us in the homeschool room, plays toys, different kinds of things. But she'll hang out with us, but I won't have any more curriculum for her to do. Hers is just in the morning for, 15 to 20 minutes or less, depending. And then 1 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays will be first language lessons, which is our grammar course, and spelling. And then on Fridays, we're going to have her quick spelling test, followed by any follow-up math, or sometimes we even do a full math lesson because we do math 5 days a week. And then at 1:30 in the afternoon, so that's just a half an hour time slot, and sometimes we get done sooner, 15 minutes, usually math is all math takes us. So around 1:30, or we'll just jump right in sooner. On Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, we're going to be doing our science, which is botany this year. Mondays and Wednesdays will be reading from the text and answering questions and working on projects. Friday will be just for finishing up any project. So we won't be doing any reading or any other book work. It will just be finishing up any loose ends and projects that we didn't complete in the week. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to be doing our Story of the World workbook. So we're going to read the day before here and do the workbook that's related to this history. And then read the day before, and then on Thursday, do the workbook that's related to that reading. And that will be at 1:30 in the afternoon. And then at the end of the day, we will fit in our typing, which we only do for 10 to 15 minutes usually. Our coding course, we'll just bring it down to once a week. It didn't really require being more often than that. And she finished course A and got her certificate last year, so we'll be working on course B, which is an online course called coding.org. And Wednesdays in the afternoon, so we do first language lessons 3 days a week. So there's the 1, 2, and 3, and our first language lessons only takes 10 to 15 minutes. And then another typing, so typing on Monday, typing on Thursday, and Fridays will be art, and that's the end of our day. We can do that anytime because it is a shorter day. We'll do it at any point when we're done our morning work. And then on Wednesday afternoons, she does a French class with my mom on Zoom, and she will last year she was just learning vocabulary words and things like that, like numbers, colors, animals, all these kinds of things. This year she's going to actually be learning grammar and parts of speech and how to actually start putting together sentences. So that's going to be exciting. And but that is our schedule. I forgot to mention that our schedule might actually change, or will have to change as well, as things begin to open up after this pandemic. The year before the pandemic, on Tuesdays, we would meet at a gym in a town over with a homeschool group of about 50 kids, and the kids would play in the gym. They'd play sports and do games and things like that. And on Wednesdays, we would also meet at the library in the afternoon to play board games. And so these were a couple of homeschool groups that we will still be meeting up with, and so we'll have to work that into the schedule as things start to meet up again. And also, we're hoping in the near future that we might be starting a homeschool co-op with a group of homeschool families that we know of, where we might do a joint weekly science or history class. But when that happens, I'll update you and let you know how our homeschool has changed. But that's all I have for you today. I thank you so much for watching. I hope to be showing you our new puppy and clips from our trip in the next upcoming videos, but that's all I have. So thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.